Pathmonk is the intelligent tool for website lead generation. With increasing online competition, over 98% of website visitors don't convert. The ability to successfully show your value proposition and support visitors in their buying journey separates you from the competition online. Pathmonk qualifies and converts leads on your website by figuring out where they are in the buying journey and influencing them in key decision moments with relevant micro experiences like case studies, intro videos, and much more. Stay relevant to your visitors and increase conversions by 50%. Add Pathmonk to your website in seconds, let the AI do all the work, and get access to 50% more qualified leads while you keep doing marketing and sales as usual. Check us on pathmonk.com. Welcome to today's episode. Let's talk about today's guest. We have Faheem Saiyad from App Samurai, director there with them. How are you doing today, Faheem?
I am good, Ernesto. It's good to be with you. How are you today?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for asking. Do appreciate that. And well, I'm sure, Faheem, our listeners are tuning in, wondering what App Samurai is all about. So let's kick it off with that. In your own words, can you tell us a little bit more?
Perfect, Ernesto. So App Samurai, we are a user acquisition and app growth platform based out of New York. We are a Series A VC-backed startup with over 80 people globally. To put it in a small nutshell, every app, be it a brand, be it a game, be it a non-game, right? You need to grow your app. So often the channels used are social channels and paid marketing. App Samurai steps in as an alternative channel for marketing where you can leverage an ecosystem of vast solutions with programmatic placements, on-device solutions for pre-installs, and grow your app at scale.
Definitely. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. And so that way our listeners could get a good understanding there, Faheem, of App Samurai then. What would you say is a key problem that you guys like to solve for clients?
So the app space is growing massively, right? So everybody that makes an app, and with, of course, AI these days coming into play, everybody can easily form an app. And once you basically create an app, the next step for this is user acquisition. How can you grow your app? How can you bring more users to the app as well? And this market is very highly competitive. Now you have the big sharks like Facebook, Google, and then you have everything that lies outside of these channels. That's where App Samurai has started its game as well. So we have two separate portfolios. One would be the gaming that is basically being forecasted to grow to almost over $700 billion in the next 8 years. So it's a massive space for growing. And of course, there's a non-gaming side, which would encompass anything from an e-commerce, fintech, crypto, and the likes as well. So App Samurai, for the gaming clients, we have been collaborating with different genres across the board. So be it a casual, hyper-casual, hybrid casual, or a mid-core game, App Samurai has solutions fitting your genre as well. So for example, if you're on a casual game, right, our flagship solution called as the rewarded playtime is something that would help you to maximize a user's flow inside the app. What we have seen is with this unique SDK, you are able to reward the user for every minute they play your game. The concept was this way you can maximize your LTVs and maximize your ROAS as well. On the other hand, if you are a game that is monetizing a lot via ads, for example, this could be a hyper-casual or a hyper-casual game, you can basically target these users with our offer walls. Now, on the offer walls, we have a gaming audience that is used to completing multiple events on your app, on your game, right? And as they complete these levels, basically you are earning revenue by showing them ads and them purchasing items inside your games. So depending on the genre of the app, for gaming, we split that into the rewarded playtime for casual and in-app purchase-oriented games. And of course, for the ad-based or the hybrid casual games, we support them with the offer walls. Now, if you are a non-gaming client per se, we do have our own DSP. So App Samurai offers clients the option to actually buy programmatically on its DSP. And these are all heavily focused campaigns, right? We don't do desktop, social, or web. Everything is in-app. So you have these first-party, second-party, and third-party data that you can use to build an audience, target the right user at the right time with your images, banners, videos, and basically motivate them to download your app. Now, we also do have an innovative aspect that is called the pre-installation. So Android has a massive share globally. Samsung in general or Android devices have basically leaped forward in terms of advertising as well. So you're able to pre-install apps inside a user's device before the device is sold. So let's say you are a big brand, could be e-commerce, fintech, or a game, right? And you want to be in the forefront of when a user purchases a device. So the moment they purchase a new device and they activate the device, right, App Samurai will pop up your game and give them the option to use this as a preloaded option. So these kind of innovative solutions are where we are splitting our portfolio depending on the genre of the advertiser. and helping them scale their apps.
Definitely. Okay, great to hear that from you guys. So then how would somebody usually find out about App Samurai? Is there a top client acquisition channel for you guys?
So we do have a healthy split of outbound and inbound, Ernesto. So we do rely quite actively on outbound. We have a team of BDRs that basically do prospecting. We rely a lot on ABM, where customized LinkedIn approaches as well, because we have all these solid value propositions. So reaching the target audience is easier. On the same time, we are also investing quite actively on paid channels. So organic, SEO, Google, they tend to be one of our leading channels to drive organic leads as well. At the same time, we are kind of constantly empowering our team for the advocacy efforts, right, to make them all storytellers. This way, we are trying to cultivate a thought leadership approach where, depending on platforms, heavily LinkedIn, we are trying to motivate our audiences to kind of bring out those posts and kind of advocate on behalf of the brand, hence possibly increasing the brand awareness and driving in more leads.
Definitely important. Okay. And so that way our listeners who are tuning in, Faheem, could go ahead and check you guys out. You could always visit them at appsamurai.com. What role then does the website play for client acquisition?
So every aspect that I mentioned above in terms of different features, depending on the genre of the app and what is it that you're looking for, we have designed our website to have a very friendly UX in general. The idea was, when a user comes onto the website with attractive call to action buttons, and basically depending on the intent, whether they want to buy something or kind of leverage a certain insight, they'll be able to navigate through our pages as well. Hence, the website tends to be our biggest platform where we're able to drive it all these signs up as well. We constantly try to release new blogs, new webinars, new podcasts, so that when a user searches for us on Google, right, one of the blogs could pop up and this would bring them to our website. And from the website, they could easily navigate, hey, if I'm a gaming client possibly, and I have an app that is heavily relying on in-app purchase, so this is an app summarized value prop that I need to click for or look for, right? So we have tried to kind of keep it simple. Hence, the website is playing a massive role, especially after we redesigned it just a few months ago.
Definitely important then. So on that note then, Faheem, is there any tools or tips or methods that you would recommend to our listeners as far as some website lead generation?
Definitely, as you mentioned, right, with PathMonk, with intent data, it's very easy to convert users as well. So data points are something that we hold dear to us as well, because when a user comes onto the website, the pattern is very important. Are they able to find what they came to seek? But let's say they search or they clicked on an ad on LinkedIn. Once they came to your website, they actually spend time reading those blogs or kind of showing interest on those landing pages. Hence, all of our landing pages are very, very data driven. We constantly do A/B test. We leverage Google Analytics quite a lot to ensure that the amount of time a user might spend per blog or per page is something that tallies back to all the search options and all the organized data that comes up from Google. So this is one of the biggest approaches that we are trying to make. So we are trying to build up an audience with a lot of A/B testing, changing the graphics, trying out new banners, new call to actions, and of course, kind of keeping them the mobile website active. It's it's a place where people rarely visit you on desktop. So having a website that is mobile accessible in full formats is something that is a very, very important aspect of this.
Definitely important. Okay, all right. Thank you so much for sharing that with us, Faheem, those tips and tricks. Well, let's switch gears a little bit, Faheem, and let's talk about you as a leader. You being the director there for App Samurai, what are some key tasks you like to focus on your day-to-day work?
Right. So on our side of things, right, things move very dynamically. I'm sure even on your side, being in the digital tech space, things move very dynamically as well. So we do have a global team of almost 80 plus people, 35 of those that are actively working for App Samurai on the operations side. And since we do help kind of clients grow their app every minute of the day, so that is a very, very common pointer. So we often have team meetings, team stand-ups that we work on. At the same time, of course, kind of, we do regularly work closely with the marketing team to ensure what's latest in the market. So we do have these weekly setups where the marketing team goes out, searches for a blog, a certain new webinar idea, a certain new product idea that we could probably think and work on. So my day-to-day usually is kind of, trying to make sure that the teams are kind of, self-sufficient and basically drive maximum value for the teams.
Definitely important. All right. Thank you so much for sharing that, your day-to-day. And so in the between times that you do have available, Faheem, because it sounds like you have a full plate there on your hands, how do you like to stay up to date with all the news in the marketing world as far as some trends, strategies? Is there a preferred channel that you like to go with?
So I am quite active on Medium. So I love to read those Medium blogs because they are very, very organic. We have a lot of thought leaders in the ecosystem, even on LinkedIn. So a lot of these thought leaders have certain good medium blogs. So that is one of my favorite channels to kind of, learn. At the same time, LinkedIn has upped its game as well. So all those posts using those hashtags to find certain posts has been something that has been very, very helpful. So kind of, I try to spend my time maximizing either on LinkedIn or via medium blogs.
That's okay. Perfect. Thank you so much, Faheem. We'll then switch to our next section then here, Faheem, which is our rapid fire question rounds. Are you ready for them?
All right, let's go.
All right. First off then is, if there would be no boundaries in technology, what would be that one thing that you want to have fixed for your role as a marketer today?
I think the ability to gather data. So if there is no bounds, right now, the biggest aspect is with all the cookies coming and going, right? Every marketer is having an issue with data collection. So I would say kind of, the ability to read data in intent more clearly is something that would be on my plate.
Absolutely. Okay, perfect. Awesome. Great to hear that. Next up then is, what is one single thing that App Samurai is focused on at the moment the most?
Right now, we are focused on maximizing in-app purchase for you as a game, right? The more the industry grows, the more gamers you want, the more purchases you want, and that's where App Samurai is maximizing with the reward playtime SDK.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much for sharing that. Next then is, you have a lot of experience in the marketing world, but what is that one piece of advice that you would give yourself if you were to restart your journey as a marketer today?
I would have started off looking at data points way earlier as well. Often you go to market, you launch something, you produce something, and then comes in the data as well. But in these, of course, 10 years ago, searching for data points was much more trickier. But if I had the chance to start over in this generation, leveraging all the market insights, all the data insights, and launching those products, I think would have saved everybody in here a lot of time.
Okay, perfect. Awesome. Thank you so much, Faheem. And well, Faheem, we are coming to the end of the show here with us today. But before we do end, I do want to give you the last word. Say someone forgets everything about the interview today. What is that one thing they should remember about App Samurai?
Right. One thing you need to remember about App Samurai is it's the one-stop shop user acquisition platform. That's it, right? It's a one-stop shop. You come in with an app, you leave with tens of users, and that's where App Samurai comes in.
Definitely. All right. Perfect. Awesome. Hey, well, Faheem, it's been a pleasure to have had you on. To our listeners, thank you so much for tuning in, and I'm looking forward to our next episode at Pathmonk Presents. Thanks a lot, Faheem.
Thank you, Ernesto. Thank you for having me.